What's up, guys? It's Heavenly Slayer here, back with chapter 2 of What If Naruto Was Neglected. Alright, let's on the other video, I don't know how many likes we got, but I know we got like 20 views. So let's get it up to 30 views now. Alright, let's begin part 2. Please like and subscribe. I really need it. The next day, Naruto woke up and looked around. He wasn't in his dark, cold room, but in a large, luxurious room on the spacious king-size bed. The memories of last night rushed into him, and he remembered the most important thing. I have a sister, someone who actually cares. He looked to his right, to where she was sleeping, but couldn't find her. Where did she go? He thought. Calm down, Kit, she whispered to you while you were slept that she would come back. He looked around the room and couldn't find anyone. Who was that? Then he was surrounded by a sewage-looking water and a sewer-looking water and a large cage. Well, what do we have here? I guess my jailer decided to honor me with his presence. He looked inside the cage and screamed, Kyubi. What are you doing here? Then remembering Mikey's story, I don't remember how to say her name, story that the third sealed it into a child, he understood everything, why the villagers hated him, called him a demon. The thought he was the Kyubi. I guess you aren't dumb, kid. Sorry you had to go through all that, but I'm glad that the girl stopped you in time yesterday. Do you know that of you die, so do I? But then again, you didn't know. Naruto just looked at the fox in shock. Can I ask, why did you attack the village? You don't seem like a bad fox. Ha 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 ha, laughed the fox. Kid, you're really something else, aren't you? Yeah, some blasted Uchiha started to control me. So yeah, it wasn't really my fault. Oh man, I just remembered the third Hokage died because of you. What am I gonna tell Miley? She would probably hate me, and stop it, kid. The girl isn't that. This girl is kind and she was telling the truth. Tell her she'll understand. Now go back. Some human is trying to get your attention. He came out of his mindscape and saw a maid coming to his direction. I see you're up. That's great, said the maid. I'll put your new set of clothes beside you, along with a towel and toothbrush to freshen up. Is there anything specific that you would like for breakfast? Can I have some ramen, please? Yes. Classic Naruto. Of course, I shall tell the chef immediately. We're treating him like a king. You deserve it, my boy. As she was about to walk out the door, he stopped her and asked, Do you know where Miley went? My lady went out in the morning saying she would be back in time for breakfast. Alright, guys, I'm going to stop it right here and come back. Alright, I'm back. Alright. It's almost 8 a.m., so she should be arriving once you come downstairs, she replied. Is there anything that I could help you with, my lord? No, but just call me Naruto, he said, embarrassed that he would be called such a thing. The maid then began to giggle and said, as she walked out, You are just like my lady, Naruto-sama. He then brushed his teeth, This man, dang, why does he spell brush like brish? Brished his teeth. That's what he's spelling like. Took a bath and then went downstairs. As he was on his way, Miley came in and he was astonished. He was too tired to look at the girl last night, but now he saw a beautiful chocolate brown hair that reached all the way to her ankles. She had dark brown eyes, or eye, since the other slightly covered by her bangs. Her skin was flawless, and as he looked at her, she smiled a beautiful smile, showing her perfect white teeth. Who knew I was going to kill myself but then end up with such a beautiful sister, he thought. She looked at him and noticed that he wasn't moving, snapped him out of it by pulling him to the dinner hall. Now to the Namikaze household. The Namikaze household went about their everyday lives, going to the backyard. You can see a red-haired woman cheering on her daughter who looked like a miniature version of her. This woman was Kushina Namikaze. It's Kushina Uzumaki. What did he say to Kushina Namikaze? It's Uzumaki. And her daughter, Naruto Namikaze. At the young age of 5, she already started her training in order to keep her brother at bay, just in case he ever went berserk. Sitting down there on a chair was the Yandame Hokage. Is that Minato? Why didn't they just say Minato? His son was a perfect copy of, excluding the 3 whisker-like marks. He was proud of his daughter's strength and power at such a young age. As they went about as such perfect family, they all forgot about their son/brother, who also lived in the house, but was denied training, being told his sister needed it more than him. As Naruto, shadow clone that was transformed, came out, he observed what was going on in the house. Miley's clone was going to see how Naruto's life was by getting first-hand experience. "Hey, Tucson," he said. His father looked at him and asked, "Yes, Naruto?" His mother and sister stopped listening to his conversation. "Can I please train with my sister? I know you said I would train at the academy, but just a little. I promise not to get in the way." "Naruto, I've already told you. All of our attention is needed on your sister. You'll get to train when you start the academy." "But why does she need it more than me? And why do the villagers always beat me and want me dead?" he asked in a sad tone. There was silence and then slap. His face was stung and looked to his mother, who had slapped him, looked angry and said, "I told you over and over again, don't lie to us. Now go outside before I make you go to your room," she said loudly. I don't want to yell because my parents. "Naruto, don't lie about the villagers. We didn't teach you to lie, did we?" his father said in the stern manner. The clone couldn't believe what was going on, so before anything could happen, ran outside and compounded and poofed away. "Do you think we were a little harsh on him? I guess I shouldn't have slapped him, but he lies all the time about the villagers. They are such kind people. If only you knew. If only you knew." "Don't worry, KK-chan. He's just jealous that I'm seen as a hero and not him," Naruto spoke up. As such, she wanted to be a brat. She still cared for her brother, but always Why did you just say put them together instead of saying all their ways? God, this spelling sucks. Wondered to why he would lie about the villagers. They gave her so much presents on her birthday. Anyways, let's go back to training. And with that, they resumed her training. Back to the mansion. Okay, as soon as the clone poofed away, all of its memories went back to the original, Miley. And what happened had her shocked. They would do that to such a sweet boy. And what's this? They're defending the villagers? Oh, these people have another thing coming to them. And it ain't gonna be pretty. Trying to make a southern voice. She probably has a southern voice. They were now at the dining hall, and as she looked at her new younger brother, she couldn't help but smile. He looked much more cheerful than when she first met him, but he had a worried expression on his face. What's wrong, bro? Remember, I told you that you could tell me anything at all right? No secrets between us. He looked at her and smiled. He didn't want to lose her, but wanted her to like him, even as a jinjuriki. He took a deep breath and for better or worse, told her about the morning encounter with the Kyubi. He looked at her face, thinking she would see a face of disgust and scorn, but instead her face showed one of realization. That makes a lot of sense. They think that you're the fox itself, you know, as in human form. But still, that's just pure idiocy. You and the fox are two different people, not the same. Why didn't you want to? She was cut off by his hug and sobs. She wondered why he was crying. I thought you would hate me just like everyone else, said Naruto. I thought that you would blame me for your grandfather's death. I'm sorry, he sobbed. Shh, it's all right. He said, I won't hate you, I promise. It wasn't your fault. You were a newborn, right? Actually, between the two of us, I guess I should be the one saying sorry. He looked at her in confusion, and she continued as she wiped his tears away. My grandfather put the fox in you, which is why you had the horrid life. I'm really sorry. Nope, we didn't do anything. Let's just leave it, okay? Besides, he told me that he was being controlled by the Uchiha. You mean the Kyubi? Said Miley. Wait, you talked to him? Yeah, he seemed really nice, though. Say, after breakfast, can we start our training? Of course, said Miley. By the way, my clone just poofed away and I received these memories. Why don't your parents believe you when you say the villagers want you dead? What kind of parents are they? Forget about them. My damn... My dumb... what? D-A-U-M? I mean, the Hokage and his family can do whatever they want. I've always wanted their acceptance, but now I have you. I don't care. He had enough and didn't care about his former family. He likes his sister and was content with what he had. They finished their meal, and as they were about to leave, one of the maids tripped over and the dishes were about to hit the ground, along with the maid herself, but were stopped in midair. Naruto looked around at the mind-blowing state. He didn't know what was going on until the maid thanked Miley. He turned and saw her had raised in the air as she gently placed down the maid and the dishes. In an unknown language, thank you, my lady. I'm sorry for causing a scene. She bowed in the same language. It's all right. Just be more careful later on. Naruto looked at her from the maid and then again to her. He didn't understand what was going on, nor did he know the language. Miley looked at him and smiled. She was going to teach him so much that the other shinobi in the village would envy him. What did you guys say? And what was that power of yours? I never seen anything like it. I guess I should tell you about my mother's Kekkei Genkai. You see, I am more of my mother than my father's, meaning I inherited her clan's Kekkei Genkai that involves demons, said Miley. They were all slaughtered, though, and when they were going to kill my mother, my father came in time and saved her. I guess that's how they first met and fell in love. Yeah, like love's that easy. But whatever. Anyways, the reason as to why her clan was killed because they had the strongest power known to humankind. When I say they can transform into demons, I mean humanoid demons, demons with a human look. What runs through my blood is my mother's demon blood. I can't transform just yet, but I have unlocked most of my powers. One of them was what you saw earlier, telekinesis. Even if I don't transform, I could still use my powers. Other abilities I have are flight, and I am immune to poison. Get some water, man. My throat dry as fuck. Called it weird, but I actually gained power from it. Then I started going out doing missions for the league, and because of my power and my so-called attitude when battling, I became known as the She-Devil. It isn't a bad name, but nah, I don't care. Oh, and I almost forgot. I also specialize in swordsmanship. It actually runs in my blood. Both my parents are well known as the best in the field. It's what actually makes people fear my old man. After my mother died, I took her sword and found out some things that were really special about it. It doesn't kill people at all. He looked at her as if she was crazy. Then he giggled at his expression. She giggled at his expression and continued as they walked to the compact field. Yeah, I had the same expression at two first, but my dad told me that my mother had a soft heart that didn't even go hard after wincing the destruction of her clan and did not want to harm people at all. So what her sword does, it's that if a person gets stabbed with it, they are in a state of suspended animation. Do you know what that means? He shook his head no. Of course he doesn't know. He's like a 5-year-old or 4-year-old kid. It means that a person is in a state where they are alive but won't wake up, like a coma, said Naruto. Something like that. During that time, however, they are in an amount of unbelievable pain and torture and can only come out of it when the sword is taped onto their body. However, in order to not fight again, they immobilize for about an hour until they could move again. Then she summoned a sword out of the smoke, and there was a sword that had a carving of a silver dragon. A dragon in green and silver. This, she said, is my mother's sword, the green dragon blade. Along with my father's sword, the Black Shadow. They are the most legendary swords in existence till today. After her long explanation of what she could do, Naruto just looked at her in awe. He already admired her, and now he just respected her more. I have the coolest sister, Naruto said. You sure do, kid, said the Kyuubi. If you want, I could also help you with your training. I don't like the villagers one bit. Thinking that I'm a brat human brat. How pathetic. Hey, Q, what's Kyuubi, what's your real name? I don't think Nine-Tailed Fox is your real name. You're a bright boy brat. It's Kuruma. Hey, tell your sister to travel to your mindscape. We should teach you to get strong. Hey, Nichan, Kuruma wants to meet you. He said to come in my mindscape. Can you do that? Who's Kuruma? The Kyuubi, said Naruto. Sure, why not? Said Miley. And with that, they were inside the mindscape. She looked up and saw a cage. Inside it was the Nine-Tailed Fox. Hey there, little girl. You know, for a little human, you sure are quite kind. Who would have known that such humans existed? And laughs. Anyways, sorry for your loss, but you're gonna train this kid, right? Well, I'm gonna help too. It's better than doing absolutely nothing all day. You know you're not that bad, Kuruma. I guess you already know my name, and sure you could help with his training, said Miley. She turned to Naruto and said, Naruto, we are going to make you into the most envied and respected shinobi that they ever saw. But first tell me, why do you want to train and get stronger? She thought that he might want to think about it, but he gave her a reply, an unexpected, at the same time expected reply. I want revenge. Revenge against every villager that hurt me, against my family who ignored me. I want them to regret what they did to me, and make them regret ever neglecting me. He said coldly, Kid, you sure? I'm with you all the way. Just don't change your mind later on. Okay, then. Let's get your training started. I tried to do a cool voice for Kuruma. Alright, guys, that'll be it. Let's get 10 likes for the next video. Alright, signing out. Until next time.